Before dawn, the Russians launched the first of 26 cruise missiles heading for Syria from 4 warships in the Caspian Sea. It's the biggest display yet of Moscow's military reach in this crisis and the powerlessness of NATO and the Gulf states to stop it. And by filming it, the Russians are perhaps telling the world that they don't really care. Russia's defence ministry showed us the missile's 1,000-mile journey across pro-Assad Iran, across Iraq, which is thinking of asking for Russian airstrikes too, bypassing a livid Turkey and into 11 targets in Syria itself. Today is Vladimir Putin's 63rd birthday, and he spent part of it meeting his defence minister. This again televised. The Russian president appearing to tell his people he's ready to cooperate with the Americans, even if those Cold War-looking telephones might suggest otherwise.
If they say they know the situation better than we do, because they have been operating on Syrian territory for a year or more, illegally, by the way, as I have said, then let them give us the targets they have found during their operations, and we will strike them.
The Russians claim they are hitting so-called Islamic State targets, but evidence from rebel-held areas still suggests most of their strikes are not against IS strongholds, but along Syria's M5 motorway corridor inland from Russian military bases. Fighters like the ISA brigades have been targeted. They are reportedly backed by the CIA, and Russia seems to be trying to scupper their hopes of toppling the Assad regime. The Turks have now called in the Russian ambassador 3 times over airspace violations by these Russian jets. And they say that Islamic State, or Daesh, has rarely been hit.
The Russian Air Force carried out 57 airstrikes, and according to our information, only 2 of these strikes were against Daesh.
While the Americans are refusing to share their bombing coordinates with Russia, which so clearly backs the Syrian president.
We are not prepared to cooperate in a strategy which, as we've explained, is flawed, tragically flawed on the Russians' part.
In the meantime, a Syrian military offensive coordinated with Moscow has begun. Tanks pushing forward across Hama and Idlib provinces in some of the heaviest fighting in months. We will burn the ground from under the feet of armed groups, says this Syrian soldier. We are waiting for the 0 hour. Judging from these pictures, Syrian rebels are trying to hold government tanks back, though they apparently face the first synchronized advance by Damascus, Moscow and Tehran. And while Russian warships in the Caspian await new orders from their commander-in-chief, he was out scoring 7 goals and winning this match, which was broadcast live. Mr. Putin's 63rd birthday, all about demonstrating Russian power on land, sea, in the air, and even on the ice.